So when I was in seminary, I had a part-time job, like many of us do when you're in school or grad school or whatever it may be. My part-time job was I sold outdoor camping equipment to people, which was great. I'd spent my life outdoors. I loved camping and backpacking, climbing. I had done all of it and loved to help equip and find other people to do the things that I love to do, right? It was a great job. And it was a horrible job because I was surrounded by all this gear that I loved, right? So there were things to go climbing and things to go hiking and new backpacks and sleeping bags and tents, all of which I loved to like nerd out around. And I continually lived in this place of constant temptation because new stuff would roll in and I'd see all the new gadgets and gizmos and all the things that it could be. And I would be excited and would tell myself like, ooh, I want to buy that. However, I also had no money, so I couldn't really afford to buy the vast majority of the things I wanted to buy. So I ended up setting up a rule that I had to wait 2 months before anything, after I saw it, I could not buy anything that came in our store for the next 2 months. And if I still wanted it after 2 months and I bought it at a discount, then and only then could I discuss it. In part because I had realized that if I waited 2 months, normally then the shine had worn off, and I realized that this new backpack was almost like the backpack I already owned, right? Or pick your item. And it was in that moment that I realized how easily tempted I am and what that looks like for the things that I love to own and have and hold. And that just continues to resonate within me. It makes me think of the words of Jesus that we had talked about in the sermon last week in part. And here Jesus in what's often called the parable of the rich fool. And it reads like this. This is from Luke in Luke chapter 12. Someone in the crowd said to him being Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." And Jesus replies, "Man, who appointed me a judge or an arbiter between you?" Then he said to them, "Watch out. Be on guard against all kinds of greed. A man's life does not consist in the abundance of possessions." And I think about that often, because there is a temptation within me. It's not around shoes or boots or clothes, but I have my own temptations where I would love to just own the things. And there is a reminder within the gospel and within the words of Jesus and throughout the Bible that life is not found in an abundance of possessions. The challenge that we're trying to live into in the rhythm is one around simplicity. And the challenge that was laid out is really a twofold one. And one is a reminder for those of us to engage along these lines. The first reminder, the base reminder that everyone can do, is to find something that you like but do not need and to give it away, to release it, to let it go. And the second extension of that is really to try to live for a season, say 2 weeks or a month, in which you commit to buying nothing that is not a consumable, nothing new that's not a consumable. So you can buy food and gas and all those, but you're not buying any items, any things that will add to clutter, any things that will add objects to your life. As we wrestle through the question, what are the right number of items in your life that you need in order to live unencumbered? What are the right number of items you need in order to follow Jesus? And so friends, as we live into this rhythm of the season in a world that always wants more, that's the question. What are the right number of items you need in your life to follow Jesus well and fully? And then how do you let go of those things that are good but aren't needed? Grace and peace, friends. Have a good week.